Jumanji took the world by storm in 1995, thrilling audiences with its adventurous story, magical board game, and unforgettable performances. But what happened to the actors who brought these beloved characters to life? Nearly 3 decades later, fans are eager to know where they are now in 2025. Some continued to shine on the big screen, taking on new roles and exciting projects, while others pursued unexpected paths away from Hollywood. In this video, we explore the lives of the Jumanji cast, uncovering their career journeys, personal milestones, and the surprising ways time has shaped the stars behind this iconic adventure film. Robin Williams was born on July 21, 1951, in Chicago, Illinois, and portrayed Alan Parrish in Jumanji in 1995 at the age of 44, a character whose decades-long entrapment in a magical jungle board game shaped him into a complex mix of trauma resilience and comedic brilliance. Alan's persona, a mix of impulsive recklessness, childlike wonder, and deep-seated guilt, resonated deeply with audiences and allowed Williams to channel both his manic energy and underlying vulnerability, elevating what could have been a simple fantasy adventure into a study of human fear and redemption. Williams's early life was far from idyllic. He grew up under the weight of an emotionally distant father, a mother whose expectations were at times suffocating, and siblings with whom he often competed for attention, forcing him to develop humor as both a shield and a form of survival. His career trajectory was meteoric, from his groundbreaking stand-up in the late 1970s to film stardom, yet it was punctuated by personal and professional turbulence, including substance abuse, multiple divorces, and a pattern of public meltdowns that revealed the fragility behind his effervescent persona. Notably, some of his riskier cinematic choices in the 1980s and 1990s failed to resonate critically, causing financial and reputational strain, while off-screen his relentless work ethic sometimes led to clashes with directors and co-stars. Williams's personal life was complex and sometimes scandalous, involving 3 marriages, rumored affairs, and high-profile struggles with alcohol and drugs, which contributed to a lifelong battle with depression. Despite these struggles, he remained a beloved figure, known for his generosity and spontaneous acts of kindness. Tragically, he died by suicide on August 11, 2014, at age 63, later found to be influenced by undiagnosed Lewy body dementia. At the time of his death, his net worth was estimated at $50 million accumulated from decades of stand-up film and television work, leaving a legacy that combined genius tragedy and a profound impact on comedy and acting worldwide. Kirsten Dunst was born on April 30, 1982, in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, and took on the role of Judy Shepard in Jumanji in 1995 at age 13, portraying a clever and emotionally nuanced teenager whose curiosity and daring inadvertently unleash the mystical chaos of the magical board game. Judy's character was simultaneously sardonic, witty, and vulnerable, balancing precocious intelligence with the natural fear and awe of a young girl confronting extraordinary dangers, while also protecting and guiding her younger brother Peter through moments of extreme peril. Audiences quickly connected with Judy's blend of humor, resilience, and humanity, making her one of the most memorable child characters of 1990s cinema. Dunst's own childhood, however, mirrored some of the pressures and constraints her character faced. She was thrust into the Hollywood spotlight at a very young age, juggling education with a demanding acting career, constantly under the gaze of media scrutiny and public expectation. Growing up, she faced the difficult challenge of forming a personal identity, while the world projected adult demands and professional discipline onto a child, leaving little room for normal adolescence. Her professional journey was equally complex. After Jumanji, she struggled with the stereotypical challenges of transitioning from child star to adult actress, navigating typecasting intense competition, and the entertainment industry's relentless scrutiny of appearance and personal life. She openly discussed her battles with depression and anxiety, providing rare insight into the emotional toll of fame. Personally, Dunst has been in a high-profile relationship with actor Jesse Plemons, marrying him and raising 2 children while maintaining a demanding career, a balancing act that underscores the resilience required to survive Hollywood pressures. At 43 years old, Dunst resides in Los Angeles, and her net worth is estimated at $25 million accrued from decades of successful acting endorsements and residuals. Jonathan Hyde was born on May 21, 1948, in Brisbane, Australia, and played both Sam Parrish and Van Pelt in Jumanji in 1995 at the age of 47, delivering dual performances that required both paternal authority and menacing intensity. Sam Parrish, as Alan's emotionally distant father, symbolized responsibility and suppressed emotion, while Van Pelt, the relentless hunter, embodied fear obsession and the embodiment of Alan's internalized guilt and trauma, creating a layered duality rarely achieved in family adventure films. Hyde's early life in Australia exposed him to classical theater training and a rigorous work ethic, but it also included the struggle of establishing an international career from a relatively isolated artistic environment, necessitating relocation, perseverance, and strategic positioning in Hollywood. His career spans decades across stage and screen, with critically acclaimed work in Titanic and The Mummy. And while he has avoided major scandals, Hyde has occasionally been outspoken on creative differences, showcasing a meticulous and sometimes exacting professionalism. His personal life has been comparatively stable. He is married to opera singer Isabel Buchanan, which provides continuity amidst the often chaotic film industry. Financially, Hyde has cultivated a net worth estimated at $3 million, reflecting steady, respected work rather than blockbuster fame. At 77 years old, Hyde continues to work selectively in film and theater, representing the rare combination of intellectual rigor, sustained artistic achievement, and personal stability, while his dual role in Jumanji remains a striking example of the psychological depth he brings to mainstream cinema, blending subtle menace and relational complexity with technical mastery. Bradley Pierce was born on October 23, 1982, in Glendale, Arizona, and portrayed Peter Shepard in Jumanji in 1995 at age 13, the adventurous younger brother who demonstrates courage, loyalty, and unrelenting curiosity while facing the supernatural dangers unleashed by the mysterious board game. Peter's character provided emotional balance to his sister Judy, acting as both comic relief and the moral compass in moments of danger and uncertainty, including a memorable sequence where he transforms into a monkey, which required a combination of physical acting and comedic timing that belied his young age. Pierce's childhood was shaped by the duality of opportunity and pressure that comes with early fame. While he enjoyed access to film sets, industry mentors, and high-profile projects, he also contended with the demands of professionalism, a lack of privacy, and the expectation to mature far beyond his years. Off-screen, Pierce navigated the challenges many child actors face, including the potential for career stagnation and public typecasting as he grew older. His professional life after Jumanji included voice work in Beauty and the Beast and other animated projects, as well as later entrepreneurial ventures in mixology, founding a cocktail consultancy that allowed him to pivot from child stardom to adult business success while staying connected to entertainment culture through fan conventions and nostalgic events. Pierce's personal life, like that of many former child actors, involved negotiating the psychological and social impacts of early fame, including maintaining a sense of identity and stability while transitioning to adulthood. Now, 42 years old, he continues to reside in the United States with a net worth estimated between $300,000 and $1 million, representing both his earnings in the entertainment industry and the success of his business ventures. Bebe Neuwirth was born on December 31, 1958, in Newark, New Jersey, and took on the role of Nora Shepherd in Jumanji in 1995 at the age of 37, embodying the pragmatic yet emotionally burdened aunt, tasked with maintaining order amidst the chaos unleashed by the magical board game. Nora was a study in controlled exasperation, balancing maternal concern for her nephews with the need to navigate unpredictable, often dangerous situations, which allowed Neuwirth to channel her signature combination of poise, wit, and understated tension into the performance. Her childhood was far from idyllic. Growing up in a household that prized intellectual and artistic achievement, she faced intense pressure, criticism, and the need to constantly prove herself while concealing insecurities and the occasional vulnerability that could have exposed her to ridicule from peers. Neuwirth's career has been a tapestry of brilliant highs and daunting challenges, from the Tony-winning stage performances in Chicago and Sweet Charity to her Emmy-winning role as the enigmatic Lilith Sternin on Cheers and Frasier. Yet her path was not without turbulence. She navigated the perils of typecasting, grueling rehearsal schedules, and on-set conflicts, occasionally clashing with directors or co-stars over interpretation and control, while her personal life remained largely private, avoiding scandal, yet still managing the stresses of fame and relentless professional expectations. Her most significant professional setback involved early struggles to transition from theater to television, facing repeated rejection before breaking into mainstream success, a period that tested her resilience and commitment to her craft. Off-screen, Neuwirth has dedicated herself to animal rights advocacy, further shaping her public persona with a combination of discipline, moral purpose, and controlled discretion. She remains alive at 66, with a net worth estimated at $10 million, reflecting decades of sustained achievement across theater, television, and film, leaving a legacy of intelligence, versatility, and an understated, compelling presence that continues to influence performers today. Bonnie Hunt was born on September 22, 1961, in Chicago, Illinois, and played Sarah Whittle in Jumanji in 1995 at age 34, portraying Alan Parrish's childhood friend, who is reluctantly pulled back into the magical and dangerous world of the game. Sarah's character is defined by a combination of anxiety, humor, and courage, often acting as a foil to Alan's own fears while navigating the perils of the game with intelligence and empathy. She brings emotional grounding to the story, representing the audience's perspective as she reacts with both trepidation and moral clarity to the fantastical events around her. Hunt's early life in Chicago was marked by modest circumstances and exposure to a diverse urban environment, which informed her observational humor, improvisational talent, and ability to convey emotional authenticity on screen. Professionally, Hunt has managed a uniquely multifaceted career, balancing acting, directing, writing, and voice work across a range of genres, including critically acclaimed work with Pixar live-action films and her own talk show projects. She is known for her improvisational wit, authenticity, and meticulous professionalism, which have helped her avoid scandals common in Hollywood. Though her career required navigating the challenges of being a woman in comedy, and directing often requiring her to assert her creative vision against entrenched industry norms. Personally, Hunt has maintained a stable life while balancing a busy career, allowing her to cultivate her craft and maintain credibility in an industry that often challenges longevity and respect for female creators. At 63 years old, she resides in Los Angeles, and has an estimated net worth of $12 million derived from decades of acting, directing, and voice work, reflecting both her artistic versatility and business acumen. David Allen Greer was born on June 30, 1956 in Detroit, Michigan, and portrayed Carl Bentley in Jumanji in 1995 at the age of 39, playing a loyal, humorous, and occasionally overwhelmed police officer whose good intentions often collided with the surreal chaos of the magical game. Carl's affable nature and grounded moral compass allowed Greer to infuse comedy with pathos, creating a character whose resilience and humanity resonated with audiences amidst fantastical peril. His formative years were shaped by the socio-economic and racial pressures of Detroit, marked by financial instability, societal prejudice, and familial challenges that demanded emotional fortitude and the cultivation of humor as a survival mechanism. Professionally, Greer's career has been a testament to versatility and tenacity, encompassing Tony-winning theater work, The Sketch Comedy Revolution of In Living Color, and diverse roles in film and television, but it has not been without obstacles. He has faced the constant threat of professional typecasting, public scrutiny, and the pressures of navigating 2 divorces while raising a daughter, which tested his personal resilience. Additionally, Greer confronted periods of uncertainty in his comedic career, where the shifting entertainment landscape and industry biases threatened his ability to sustain visibility, compelling him to constantly reinvent his approach to performance. Off-screen, he has been a thoughtful and reflective figure, balancing public exposure with private challenges, maintaining a disciplined approach to craft, while navigating the complexities of fame and family life. Currently, 69 years old Greer has amassed a net worth of approximately $4 million, reflecting a career that spans decades of acting, comedy, and stage work. And his legacy is defined by both professional adaptability and the capacity to transform personal adversity into enduring artistic contribution. Laura Bell Bundy was born on April 10, 1981, in Euclid, Ohio, and appeared as young Sarah Whittle in Jumanji in 1995 at age 14, portraying a skeptical, frightened, and emotionally fragile teenager whose experiences with the game's chaos left lasting psychological scars. Young Sarah's vulnerability and cautious intelligence offered viewers a counterbalance to Allen's impulsive nature, illustrating the broader emotional consequences of the fantastical narrative. Bundy's childhood was shaped by early ambition and intense discipline, including rigorous vocal training and stage preparation, while also navigating the social challenges of being a child performer, which often left her feeling isolated and subject to criticism from peers and adults alike. Her career has been marked by both dazzling highs and frustrating lows. After Jumanji, she faced initial rejections in Hollywood, financial instability in early Broadway ventures, and intense competition for prominent roles, alongside the pressures of public exposure as a teen star. Scandals were largely absent, but she has openly discussed struggles with the demanding entertainment industry, including periods of burnout and the challenge of asserting creative autonomy in a male-dominated space. Personal life challenges included balancing her evolving career with marriage to Tom Hinkle and motherhood, all while maintaining her advocacy work for women through initiatives like Womexen of Tomorrow. Now, 44 Bundy thrives as a Broadway luminary recording artist and activist with a net worth estimated between $750,000 and $1 million, reflecting both her artistic versatility and her dedication to socially conscious projects, solidifying her reputation as a resilient performer whose early role in Jumanji foreshadowed a life of creative perseverance. Patricia Clarkson was born on December 29, 1959, in New Orleans, Louisiana. and appeared as Carol Parrish in Jumanji in 1995 at the age of 36, playing Alan's mother in emotionally charged flashbacks that conveyed nurturing concern and the formative emotional impact of loss on the protagonist. Carol's character provided a critical emotional touchstone for the audience, and Clarkson's subtle, nuanced performance amplified the poignancy of the narrative's family dynamics. Her upbringing in a culturally rich but emotionally complex household exposed her to both the vibrancy of New Orleans and the pressures of social expectation, sibling rivalry, and early emotional suppression, teaching her to navigate criticism, conceal vulnerability, and cultivate introspection tools that would later inform her approach to complex character work. Clarkson's professional trajectory has been marked by both critical acclaim and the constant negotiation of industry challenges, including periods where the scarcity of substantial roles for women in Hollywood and the risk of typecasting threatened her career momentum. Her dedication to carefully selecting roles, whether in independent films, acclaimed television series, or character-driven dramas, reflects a conscious strategy to avoid compromise, yet it came at the cost of personal solitude and limited public attention to her private life. Off-screen, Clarkson has maintained a resolutely private existence, forgoing marriage and children, to prioritize her artistic ambitions while navigating the often gendered scrutiny of Hollywood. Her most notable professional challenge involved sustaining recognition and career relevance in a competitive environment that often undervalues nuanced performers. Currently, 65 Clarkson's net worth is estimated at $3 million accumulated from decades of work in film, television, and stage, leaving a legacy of integrity, meticulous artistry, and a reputation for portraying deeply human, emotionally resonant characters that continue to captivate and inspire audiences worldwide. Adam Hann-Byrd was born on February 23, 1982, in New York City, and took on the role of young Alan Parrish in Jumanji in 1995 at age 13, portraying a boy whose adventurous spirit, curiosity, and impulsive nature ultimately lead him to become trapped within the mystical board game. Young Alan's combination of innocence, fear, and courage created the emotional foundation for the adult version of the character, played by Robin Williams, making his early performance both poignant and enduring in the eyes of audiences. Hann-Byrd's childhood, though in a bustling city, was marked by a high-pressure environment of auditions, early public scrutiny, and the challenge of balancing normal adolescent life with a burgeoning acting career, often leading to personal isolation and the need to conceal insecurities behind a confident exterior. Professionally, he experienced the unpredictable volatility of Hollywood. After Jumanji roles became sporadic, and he faced the frustration of being typecast as the precocious child, at times clashing with agents and directors over creative direction. One of his most difficult periods involved a failed pilot series that never aired, a blow that almost derailed his trajectory and forced him to reconsider long-term career goals. Off-screen, Hann-Byrd's personal life has been stable, married to Dara Epstein, but the pressures of early fame, combined with the constant transitions between child and adult roles, created moments of private struggle and self-doubt. Currently 43, he has reinvented himself in the creative sphere, working in screenwriting and narrative design for television and interactive media, contributing to series like Fringe and games such as Hogwarts Mystery. His net worth is estimated at $1 to $2 million, comprised of residuals, royalties, and earnings from his writing career, reflecting a shift from child actor fame to behind-the-scenes creative influence, while his legacy endures in the emotional resonance of his portrayal of young Alan Parrish. Malcolm Stewart was born on May 15, 1948 in Montreal, Canada, and joined Jumanji in 1995 at age 47, as Jim Shepherd, the steadfast yet increasingly beleaguered father of Judy and Peter. Jim's character was a portrait of a man trying to maintain equilibrium amid chaos, embodying both authority and vulnerability, and his struggles struck a chord with audiences who empathized with his quiet desperation to protect his children from forces beyond his control. Stewart's childhood was far from idyllic. Growing up in a working-class family, he experienced financial instability, parental strictness, and the subtle cruelty of peers who mocked his physical appearance and academic struggles, fostering an early capacity for emotional resilience and secrecy that would later inform his layered performances. His career was characterized by a persistent oscillation between theatrical triumphs and screen obscurity. Stewart faced repeated rejection for lead roles in television and film, and his intensity on stage occasionally strained relationships with directors and co-stars, leading to whispers of being difficult to work with. A major career setback came when a Canadian TV pilot in which he had invested years was abruptly scrapped after a network executive's personal vendetta, leaving him professionally humiliated and financially strained. Personal life offered limited reprieve. His marriage to Dr. Thekla Shiphorst, though enduring, was punctuated by periods of long-distance strain due to touring and filming, and raising a child amid professional uncertainty demanded constant negotiation of priorities. Stewart also faced the emotional toll of witnessing friends and colleagues falter under Hollywood pressures, adding to the psychological weight he carried silently. Currently 77, he continues to perform in theater and television, with an estimated net worth of $1 to $2 million accrued through decades of careful career management, consistent performances, and prudent financial decisions, leaving a legacy defined by quiet resilience, dedication to craft, and an understated yet enduring impact on Canadian and international audiences. Jillian Barberie was born on February 26, 1958, in Coventry, England, and joined Jumanji in 1995, at age 37, as Mrs. Thomas the schoolteacher who provided a grounding presence amid the fantastical upheaval, embodying authority, patience, and care, in a role that anchored the normalcy of Judy and Peter's world. Mrs. Thomas represented a stabilizing figure, a foil to the chaos unleashed by the magical board game, and her understated performance helped maintain narrative tension while emphasizing the everyday stakes for the children. Barberie's childhood in England was marked by post-war austerity, limited resources, and frequent social scrutiny, fostering resilience, adaptability, and a keen awareness of interpersonal dynamics that would later inform her nuanced character work. Professionally, Barberie faced the vicissitudes of a career largely concentrated in Canadian television and film, navigating sporadic opportunities. The unpredictability of recurring guest roles and occasional clashes with production teams over creative input, along with the challenge of balancing stage, screen, and academic commitments. While public scandal was minimal, sources close to her noted the stress of maintaining career momentum and mentoring responsibilities simultaneously, often requiring personal sacrifices and emotional endurance. Currently 67, Barberie is active in acting and education teaching at Capilano University, and having founded its musical theater program alongside ongoing film and television work. Her net worth is estimated at $1 to $2 million, accrued through decades of acting, teaching, and directing, highlighting a multifaceted career built on both artistic contribution and mentorship, with her role in Jumanji serving as one of many touchpoints that demonstrate her ability to bring depth, professionalism, and consistency to every performance. Peter Bryant was born on July 30, 1959, in Sydney, Australia, and appeared in Jumanji in 1995 at age 36 as the paramedic who responds to Alan's sudden re-emergence a brief yet crucial role grounding the fantastical events with procedural realism. Bryant's character lent authenticity and measured professionalism, offering audiences a reliable anchor amid the film's escalating chaos, and his understated performance highlighted the importance of minor roles in amplifying narrative tension. Growing up in Sydney, Bryant experienced a childhood marked by parental absence, frequent relocations, and early exposure to economic hardship, all of which honed his adaptability, emotional control, and a pragmatic approach to interpersonal dynamics, traits that became hallmarks of his acting style. Professionally, Bryant cultivated a diverse portfolio spanning television voice work and screenwriting. Yet he navigated repeated challenges, including typecasting as authority figures or medical personnel, intermittent gaps between high-profile projects, and occasional friction with directors over character interpretation. A particularly difficult professional episode involved the abrupt cancellation of a series in which he held a recurring role, a setback that both financially strained him and tested his persistence in a highly competitive industry. Bryant's personal life has remained relatively private, though he contended with the typical pressures of balancing family commitments, long periods away for international projects, and the constant need to manage professional expectations without public controversy. Currently 66, he continues to work steadily in television and voice acting, commanding respect for his versatility and discipline with an estimated net worth of $1 to $2 million, reflecting a stable and enduring career in the entertainment industry characterized by resilience, professionalism, and the consistent delivery of nuanced performances that subtly elevate every production he contributes to. Daryl Henriquez was born on January 28, 1942 in Jamaica, and joined Jumanji in 1995 at age 53 as the gun salesman, a small but narratively vital role that injected a sardonic edge into the story by enabling Van Pelt's violent ambitions. Henriquez's portrayal was defined by opportunism and a mischievous disregard for consequence, making him an unexpectedly memorable presence, whose moral ambiguity offered a subtle critique of greed and immorality. Henriquez's early life was shaped by a volatile blend of colonial Jamaican social hierarchies, familial financial instability, and cultural displacement, all of which fostered his early interest in satire, political commentary, and the arts as mechanisms for processing hardship and asserting identity. His career trajectory was eclectic. Beyond mainstream films like Star Trek VI and The Rocketeer, he immersed himself in avant-garde political theater, the San Francisco Mime Troupe, and provocative performance art, often clashing with producers over controversial content and pushing creative boundaries that some contemporaries considered confrontational. Henriquez's personal life mirrored his career in its unpredictability, unorthodox relationships, intense commitment to politically charged artistic endeavors, and periods of intense public scrutiny tested both his resilience and reputation. Despite his nonconformist approach, Henriquez remained remarkably scandal-free in a traditional sense, although insiders recall clashes, tempers, and near-legal disputes over artistic intellectual property that occasionally threatened his career stability. Currently 83, he continues to engage with theater and performance art, leveraging his decades of experience and social critique with a modest net worth likely under $500,000, largely derived from selective screen roles and stage performances. Henriquez's legacy is more cultural than financial, emblematic of an artist who navigated Hollywood and avant-garde stages with equal dexterity, leaving behind an indelible imprint on satire, performance art, and socially conscious theater. Thank you for joining us on this nostalgic journey through classic television history. If you enjoyed learning about the cast of Jumanji and where they are now, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, for more vintage Hollywood retrospectives and share your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing your memories and suggestions, so let us know which TV show or movie cast you'd like us to feature next.